don't feel like I'm lost.
Okay.
So like the transportation was like the first thing. I was like, if I can get the transportation, I can live here.
Yes,
And I can. And I was like, do you know what? I can do this.
What students like in Singapore?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know what? I was speaking about this yesterday, and I was saying there's a certain fire and hunger from the students here that I really love. And it's not to say that I don't have that back home, but when you become comfortable and familiar, we see each other every week, like everyone gets comfortable, and then when you come to a new environment, everything is like, it's like fresh, right? It's new from me and from them. So I think because it's new, that energy is like, it's just, it's fiery, and as a teacher, it fires you up as well to want to even do more. So that's probably why my back has gone out. Doing too much time.
One of the workshops, I was like looking at her sitting at our booth, and then she was like trying to paste this hip, and I was like, are you okay? This my back. Singapore, you're too much.
Too much.
pressuring, and you're giving us too much too.
I mean, I had to return the energy.
Correct.
Honestly, they were just like, okay, cool, like, no problem, we'll do it. And that's what I love when you're asking about how do you find the local dancers, and they're just like, let's do it. And they learned it so quick, and like they met up today outside of like the rehearsal schedule. I wasn't there, and randomly got a job to go to Ghana, and something just clicked. Like I loved the people, the food, like it felt like home. But you are welcome anytime you want. And the more you come to my house, you know the things that I like, the things that I don't like. You'll know that you take your shoes off.
The closer you'll get as well.
The closer you'll get, right? So you'll know that like you can just roll up and be like, oh, Lou, I'm coming to your house. Like, come through. Like, take your shoes off though, but come through. But you're still a guest, and that's okay. Like, no one's walking around like, oh my God, I'm a guest. I'm not. So yes, you're a guest to the culture. Like, I'm a guest to the Asian culture, but anyone who knows me knows I love Asian culture. Like, I love it.
The All Streets Podcast.
What's up, guys, and welcome to a special episode of the Old Streets Podcast. So we are here.
Yes, ma'am.
In a new setup.
Yes.
Okay, but not permanent lah.
Not permanent.
Yeah,
Just for
because-
today.
why
Just for today.
Just for today, because
What's on today?
There's an event, ACE 2025,
Okay.
organized by Afro SG.
And we have someone in the studio with us today.
Correct.
One
Yes, sir.
of the instructors.
Yes.
None other than Miss Lulu.
Hello.
welcome to the podcast.
It's a party.
Yes, ma'am.
It is.
It always is.
I love it.
Oh, thank you so much for coming
Thank
down.
you for having me.
Yeah, we I mean, like, you've seen us, we've seen you for this couple of days, and we're like, oh my God, girl, she has swag.
Yes.
What?
Is that a BTV brand? Is that a Singapore brand?
Yeah,
The cat?
it is.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Good day to rock it, right?
Sponsor me. Yes. How's Singapore so far for you?
Yeah.
This is like my 4th time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you know I was actually considering asking my workplace to transfer me?
Legit.
Singapore?
I
Oh, okay.
swear. This is like my 4th time here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
love
like
it.
about Singapore?
Do you know
Like-
what? I think it's the ease. Maybe
Okay.
you guys might disagree.
Okay.
But I think it's the ease. I don't feel like I'm lost.
Okay.
So like the transportation was like the first thing. I was like, if I can get the transportation, I can live here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can. And I was like, do you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
I think I can do this.
I think you should do this.
And they're instructor here full
Like the
time.
food.
Yes,
Yeah.
They've got spicy food, which is very important.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the people are nice.
Yes.
Like,
course.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Married.
How about the students? Like
Yes,
in
like,
Singapore,
yeah.
like
Do you know what? I was speaking about this yesterday, and I was saying there's a certain fire and hunger from the students here that I really love. And it's not to say that I don't have that back home, but when you become comfortable and familiar, we see each other every week, like everyone gets comfortable, and then when you come to a new environment, everything is like, it's like fresh, right? It's new from me and from them. So I think because it's new, that energy is like, it's just, it's fiery, and as a teacher, it fires you up as well to want to even do more. So that's probably why my back has gone out. Doing too much, child. Doing too much.
Her back is really full of kitty.
yeah, don't play.
But it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Wow, so no wonder lah. Because like, I think like one of the workshops, I was like looking at her sitting at our booth, and then she was like trying to paste this hip, and I was like, are you okay? This my back. Singapore, you're too much lah.
Treasuring
Stop
lah.
it.
And you're giving us too much too. Yeah.
I mean, I had to return the energy.
Correct. Yes.
So for today's showcase, right? Maybe share with us more about like what inspired the choreography behind this showcase. Your piece.
So this is my second time doing it. So I think after being here last year and understanding the energy, the crowd, the audience, I think it's really important to cater to the people, to the demographic that you're going to perform to, right? So obviously it's important to do you as an artist, but I think my work is a collaboration with the audience. Like I want the audience to be involved as well. So actually the piece, the intro is like a violin remix of Ariana Grande.
Which song?
Which song?
Right?
Yeah, which song?
Why?
Which song?
We have Ariana Grande fans here.
Seven rings. So you like
Seven
it?
rings.
7 rings. Honestly, when I played it, everyone was like, Afro, Ariana, 7 rings, violin. Like,
Stop
what's
this.
going on?
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just me. Like I like to do the juxtaposition thing and like switch it up. So yeah, I did that, and then I did like 2 of the choreographies that I taught in class, which they already knew. And I just wanted to do like different energies to kind of give a bit of everything. So a bit Ariana Grande, a bit of like some hype Zonto in there.
Have my heart, girly pop.
We love it.
And they did amazing. Like, I mean, we only had 4 hours, and I'm Miss Do Too Much.
It's
So-
never too much, babe.
True.
People need to keep up.
Agree.
Yeah,
My
but
God.
honestly, they were just like, okay, cool, like, no problem, we'll do it. And that's what I love when you're asking about how do you find the local dancers, and they're just like, let's do it, let's do it. And they learned it so quick, and like they met up today outside of like the rehearsal schedule. I wasn't there. So they met even without me. They like rehearsed, and that's what I love, you know.
That's very us lah. Like that's very like
Yeah.
Singaporean. Like
We
need to make
kiasu.
sure. We need to make sure our steps are correct.
Yeah.
Everybody counting correct.
Timing, check.
Literally, but also it's like helping each other as well. Like there's no selfishness. It's like, okay, let's run it together.
Yeah.
You're doing that wrong, let's do that together. And I love that. I love that so much. Because it feels like it's not just me that cares,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And I love when it feels like a collaboration and not like a dictator.
Teacher,
and
student
Yeah.
moment.
you know, so it's like we did
Mm.
it together. I think it makes it a bit more of a beautiful experience.
Nice.
Talking about beautiful experiences, right? I want to know more about your experiences in dance. Like, how did you actually start out your dance experience? you know?
Yes.
Wow. So I've got a really weird, interesting story. So I was actually a singer before.
Lovely lah. I need samba. I need samba. A few lines.
You shouldn't have said that.
Singer, songwriter, dancer, choreographer. in Singapore. Don't play with the old street podcast.
You're gonna have to give me a few minutes to warm up.
Yeah.
But so I was doing like performing arts, so I was focusing on singing. I was in like a singing group.
Yeah.
And I come from a very strict Nigerian African home.
Okay.
So school finished at 3:15. Child, the walk is 20 minutes. You be home by 3:40. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so after school, there was this dance club, which meant that I could stay out till 5:30.
Okay.
So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a loophole. This is a loophole.
Yeah.
And so I started going to this after school club, hated it.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't dance. I was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I had the best, like, I started liking it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because I could stay out late.
Yeah. Yes.
And then yeah, like I just found myself like getting dragged into like the dance world, and then I had to make a choice between singing and then I found myself picking it was such a weird journey, and then I ended up loving it, and then I became like obsessed, and then I was training 7 days a week, and I was like, oh my god, I want to learn this style and this style, I want to do lock-in, I want to do pop-in.
So was Afro your first genre?
No.
What was your first genre that you started with?
Hip-hop was my first genre. Yeah. Hip-hop, I did it for like 14 years.
Wow.
Hip-hop.
Damn.
Yeah.
14 years.
Hip-hop,
Zombie.
I know, right? Yeah.
That is a kid already. They were like 14 years.
Yeah, so hip hop was like that was like my first love. And then about 6 years in, I started doing lock-in and pop-in with one of my mentors, and I did that for about 5-6 years. But yeah, that was my first like dance. Yeah.
How young were you when you started?
So some people think I started really late, actually. So I was actually, my first class that I was telling you about, that I went after school, I was 15. But I took it seriously when I was about 17.
Oh, 2 years after.
Yeah, so that's when I
Yes,
became, I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna do this seriously. So 17, I became good, because there's a difference.
Yes.
Okay.
I became,
Take note, there is a difference.
I started at 17, but I became good. I became good, I would say, maybe about 19 was when I was like, okay,
another 2 years. Okay.
she's cute.
She's cute.
Yeah.
She's cute. And I actually got my first job at about 20.
Dance
Yeah,
job.
dance job.
Yeah.
I got my first dance job. It was Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Shout out.
Wow.
My first job, and I actually gate crashed that audition.
Ooh.
No one invited me. I gate crashed it. I found out I found out from my friend. Gate crashed. They was like, "Who's your agent?" Lied and told them some random name. Child. Because back then, you weren't getting into the audition if you didn't have an agent. I gave them the most. I gave them the most like bougiest, whitest name I could find. Like,
So is that your name?
child. No, gave them some random name, and they was like, "Oh my god, we loved you. Your energy was so fiery." It was
Yes,
like, "Yeah, we're
yes,
gonna
yes.
book you," and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yes.
What a fraud.
Yes, of course I'm freaking good. From this angle, another angle, all the angles. Yeah.
No, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
But
Yes. I got it.
Yes.
oh my god. But yeah.
Yes.
That was, thank you.
Yes. Much needed. Yes.
But yeah, that was my journey, and I've been dancing ever
Nice.
since.
Ever since, oh.
Yeah, I mean, with Afro, it's been about 12 years. So I was actually gonna quit dance about, I know, right? Crazy. So in about 2014, 2015, I was in like a corporate job. I was like a studio manager for like a physiotherapy clinic.
Okay.
I know, ironic, right? Now I got back pains.
Okay, like, it's okay. It didn't confirm that you won't get back pain, you know. Yeah, it didn't
It's
confirm.
the karma for me. It's the karma. The job said, "Yeah, you want to quit? Okay, cool.
Okay.
See how
You
you
gotta
like
get that. Yes.
Oh god, yeah. So I was like, I'm in a good job, like it pays well, like I was kind of falling out of love with dance. I couldn't really see where it was going.
Yeah.
And then the song Azonto came out. Azonto. Zonto. That song came out and I was like, what is that? And randomly in 2015, I got an opportunity to go to Ghana. So this was before I even started, So it would literally like a weird alignment. And
Sorry, I'm just so fascinated with your story. Please carry on.
Yes.
Have you all of us changed it?
Carry on.
And randomly got a job to go to Ghana, and something just clicked. Like I loved the people, the food, like it felt like home. And the second place that's made me feel like that was Manila, Philippines. As well.
Shout out.
Shout out Philippines.
Yes.
And I was just like intrigued, and I was like, okay, like what? How do I get involved? How do I do this? And I met a guy called E-Flex, a guy called Afro Beast, and a guy called Dance God Lloyd, all from Ghana. And they put me on, mainly E-Flex. He gave me online lessons for about 4 years. Didn't charge me. Didn't charge me a penny. Even till today, every time I go Ghana, we're still really good friends. He's still my mentor. Every time I'm like, I have to, he has never taken a penny from me, and I have been doing Azonto for 12 years.
Wow.
Amazing.
That is a very nice mentor.
Every time I
Big
go to
shout out
Ghana,
to you.
every time I go to Ghana, because although I've been doing it for 12 years and I know a lot thanks to the Ghanaian community, but I'm still always a student, regardless, no matter how much I think I know, I'm still always a student. So I actually go Ghana every single year, and he always links up with me for a session, whether it's to talk theory, whether it's to talk history, to recap, okay, what steps are new, what's new, what's changed. And that's like a blessing. Like,
It is.
never taking a penny from me.
Wow.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Amazing.
And he's been here.
Like,
He's been to Singapore. He's been to Singapore.
Yes,
He's been to
okay.
Singapore. And he's amazing. Like every time that anyone asks me about my Afro dance journey and I speak about Azonto, like I can't speak about it without speaking about E-Flex, my mentor, because he is the one.
Big
Yeah.
respect
He's the guy.
to E-Flex.
Yes.
I mean, like at the end of the day, I believe community is so important.
Yep.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
In order to
Absolutely.
help you keep on going in your dance journey.
100%.
Yeah.
It's always the people around you that burns your fire.
Yeah.
Not for the people around you, you'll be stuck with your corporate job. Right?
Hey, don't play.
Though maybe less back pain lah.
Less bad. Yeah, but I mean, throughout this journey, in all this journey, is there any memorable moments that you feel that it's worth sharing for today with our listeners?
That you'll never forget.
Yep. In any country that you have went to. Yeah.
There is too many. That's put me on the spot. There's too many. But I'm going to round it up and say every country outside of London that has invited me and that has thought that what I do is a blessing enough for them to pay for me to come to their country and to teach in their dance school, whatever, because I have gone to some place. I don't know if I would have been able to come to Singapore if I didn't know Hua, for instance.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know.
Shout out
I
to
don't know
Hua.
if dance would have. I don't know if I would have been booked for anything that would have taken me to Singapore. I don't know if I would have been booked for anything that would have taken me to Korea. I don't know if I would have been booked for anything that would have taken me to Philippines. To Afro dance took me to those countries. Not the commercial jobs. And I've done a lot of commercial jobs, and I am so grateful for those opportunities because they have made me the dancer that I am today as far as experience goes professionally. But in terms of seeing the world and seeing how far African dance has gone, Afro dance is the one that did that.
Wow. Very inspiring.
Yes.
With
They
that,
should do a Netflix movie about
They
you.
should lah. Seriously.
Yes. Already asked for a sponsor from BTV.
You can.
Ask for Netflix for a show.
Yeah.
Make it a series.
Not asking for much, one episode only lah. With us. Not asking for much. One episode. Yeah.
15 minutes on the air is fine as well.
With your experience in like Afro dance, because you were mentioning like Afro dance brought you to these different countries, right? What is one common misconception in Afro dance that you wish people sort of like actually understood? Yeah.
That you have to be African to enjoy the culture and to be a part of the community. So I said something when I was just in Korea before I left, and I said, now that we've done this, we are together. We are in the same community.
Yeah.
It's not us and then you. Like, it's not me and then you.
Yeah.
It is us together. You love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That means we are now in the same community.
Yeah.
So if you do something wrong, because we are in the same community, I'm going to be like, sis.
Yes. The look.
Sis, don't play.
Don't play.
And if I do something wrong,
Yes.
my expectation is that my community, and you do not have to be African to do that.
Okay.
My expectation is my community, as people who do Afro dance or who are in the African dance community together,
Yes.
you should tell me, sis.
Yes. The
You
look
need to do
again.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, for me, it's but also the intersection of there are so many similarities that I don't think people I think there's such a fear of like delving into it's like, oh, I don't want to do that because like I'm not African, so I don't want to disrespect.
Yeah, correct.
No.
The social anxiety.
Yeah,
that they
because
have.
right now a lot of people
Yeah.
are talking about like culture appropriation or something like that. Right?
And I get it.
Yeah.
And I get it, right?
Yeah.
But I think anyone who has lived in anywhere in Africa or who has really been engrossed in African culture and understands it will know that African culture, and when I say culture, I'm talking ancestors, my great, the teachings is when you get something, you have to share it. It's not just for, it can't be just for you, right?
Yes.
It can't be just for you. You have to share it. And when we share, I'm not like, they black or brown?
Yeah.
Are they African or Asian?
Yeah.
Are they? No, like
Blood type. All
they're
this.
not. No. Don't get me wrong. Of course, there is a certain element of protecting the culture as far as like
Exactly.
the authenticity of it, and I think every culture should do that, of course. But I don't think that there should be a fear. I think there should be a respect, and I kind of likened it to, if you are my friend, you are always welcome in my house. But you don't pay rent, so you're always going to be a guest. Right?
Wow.
But you are welcome anytime you want. And the more you come to my house, you know the things that I like, the things that I don't like. You'll know that you take your shoes off.
The
Like
closer you'll get as well,
the closer you'll get, right? So you'll know that like you can just roll up and be like, oh, Lou, I'm coming to your house. Like, come through. Like, take your shoes off though, but come through. Come through. But you're still a guest, and that's okay. Like, no one's walking around like, oh my God, I'm a guest. I'm not. So yes, you're a guest to the culture. Like, I'm a guest to the Asian culture, but anyone who knows me knows I love Asian I love it, like the food, I want to know, how do you say I love you in your language? How do you say thank you? How do you, I love it, but I'm okay with, I'm a guest. Why do we think that saying I'm a guest is like a curse word? Like,
correct.
I can be a guest and I can still be obsessed with it, like, but I'm still a guest, but I love it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Actually, that's one way to put it, eh?
Yeah,
like that is really one perspective that, the way you say that, I've never thought of that before.
I think it's just like the misconception of like, oh, there's no way that I can love it to a certain degree because I am not African, or because I am not like, I think the tiptoeing actually makes it worse. I would rather people ask the questions that were scary. Like, I would rather people were like, is it okay to do braids?
Yes,
Is it
yes.
like,
That's
is it
actually
okay,
quite a-
or is it okay to like wear this? Like I know that this symbolizes this, and
Yeah.
I can really connected with this. Like, can you tell me if it's okay or if it's not okay?
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh my god,
Should I?
yeah,
Can I?
it really distorts the experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, it really just takes away from like just the organic like spiritual experience that you should have when you
Yeah.
are engaging with a culture.
Yeah.
Just ask. Yeah, I think that's for me. That's just the. And if anyone makes you feel fearful,
Yeah.
I'm gonna confidently stand on 10 toes and say they are not the culture.
Boom, boom.
Ooh, they are not
They are
the
not the
culture.
culture. The
Yes,
culture,
Not
yeah.
the culture.
It doesn't
The
promote
culture,
fear.
yes.
It doesn't promote fear. A good cultural custodian promotes respect.
Whoa! Understand that, you know?
Wow.
I cannot.
Yes,
yes, you understand, right?
Goosebumps, you know, hear all these things.
Yes, correct.
Oh.
Well, so I want to ask you this question then. I mean, like, seeing the way that you evolve from like hip hop and then now you're like into Afro, right? How do you think like dancers, like in your opinion, like in dancers nowadays, how can they evolve themselves as dancers beyond just like choreography? What do you think about that? Yeah.
So, I think
Yeah.
you'll be surprised how much going parties and networking and stuff will help with stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of these dance styles have evolved. I think because now it's like when we think of, oh, I want to learn about this, so we go to a class.
Yeah.
We go to the dance studios. We
Yeah.
go to the... When hip hop was born, child, there weren't no studios. What studio?
Yeah. Yes.
What
Yeah.
studio?
Yeah.
There was no
What is a
studio.
studio?
Like,
Yeah.
vote the ballroom
Yeah.
culture
Yeah.
and community.
Yes.
That wasn't what studio?
Yeah.
You was going to the balls to see what was going down.
Yes.
That's where it was.
Yes.
That's where you're
Don't
really
play.
gonna see like, okay, this is how it works. This is how, do you know what I mean?
Correct,
So
correct, yes.
I think going into like outside of the studios are great. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, and the studios make it so that there is like a particular structure.
Yes.
Yes.
But if you really want to like engage and know that, how do I know whether I even want to be in this or whether I want to
Yes.
learn it?
Yeah.
Like, imagine going to class for like 3 months and you're like, actually, I'm not really...
Yeah.
All that money
Yeah.
in this economy.
Agree. All that money. All that money for this economy.
In this economy. Listen, I would rather go to the balls
That's
for
right.
3 months. At least, even if I don't like, at least I had a great time.
I
Yes.
I had a great time, child.
And you meet nice people.
I
and you
had
meet
met people. I had a great
I
time.
love the
Yes.
fact that no one says about it, but she did. I love it.
I agree. I
understand
totally
that,
agree.
yeah.
I had a great
Yes.
time. So I think, yeah, like if you're trying to like see like, is this for me? Is this for like going into the culture and seeing like,
Yeah.
how does it work? What are the people like? Because it's not just the dance. Like, there's so many other things that like surround it. But also
course.
just try. I know nowadays, like when you dances can be so intimidating now.
It can
Like,
be.
Yes.
It can be
Especially like, you know,
really-
like people are also like very like competitive right now.
Yeah,
Like, it's tough.
it can
Yeah.
be really intimidating, and I get it. Like, obviously, like if you're in like the battle scene, like you kind of have to be, and I get that. But I think especially if we're being specific to African dance, I was saying the other day, especially like with like a lot of these styles, like my grandma should be able to walk into this room and be like, yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
joining in.
Love the sass. Love the sass.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mad, like, who, like, no one, you think the market women in Ghana, like, you think they're doing, like, they're scared of, like, the 5, 6, 7, 8s. They're just trying to get down. Like,
Yeah.
that's where
Don't
the real...
count for me. I will start my.
How will start the battle?
I am the better.
I am the battle.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think just try it. I mean, the worst
Yeah.
that can happen is, okay, it's not really for me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
It's
but I
okay,
respect
right?
it. And
Yeah.
that's absolutely okay. Like, before I landed in, like, where I am,
Yeah.
like, I tried so many different... At one point, like, I was training crump.
Wow.
Your versatility surprises me.
I literally, honestly, when I say I tried because I was so it was just intriguing to me. I was like,
Yes,
oh my
yes.
God, and there's breaking, and there's whacking, and there's house,
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
like so, and then you come into like the Afro dance scene, and you're like, oh my God, and then there's this, and there's the pantsuit, and there's my piano, and like it's just so intriguing to me.
Yeah.
So I think always maybe having like that childlike student mindset.
Having a constant curiosity to learn all this.
Yeah,
Yes.
always. So maybe actually, to be fair, maybe that's just my personality, but I think it's just intriguing that in this lifetime, I'm never going to know everything.
Of course.
How exciting.
Yeah,
How excited. I'm never going to know everything. Like,
Oh, I really love the way you see things. I
Yes.
really, your POV
so
is
fresh.
totally fresh. Yes.
Yeah.
Different, huh? Different from a lot
Yes.
of people that we talk to.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
and the
Thank
fact that
you.
just now, I think one of the sentences say that you will always be a student.
Yes.
always.
But the fact that you've already been called to different countries
Yes.
to be an instructor, wow, that is really admirable. Like,
yes. Very inspirational.
Very humbling, very humbling. Yeah.
It's just very heartwarming to hear
Yeah.
dance from like this kind of perspective.
Yes,
You know,
thank you.
like because it can be intimidating. You're right.
Yeah, for sure.
So if people like start seeing dance that way, like it's fine. Even your teachers are always still going to be students.
correct.
100%.
It gives you a
100%.
little bit more sense of comfort, right?
Correct.
100%. 100%. I agree.
Thank you so much. I wish we had more time though.
Yeah.
But
Such a
before,
learning journey,
but
my
before
goodness.
we end this, right? Is there any like shout out to people that you
Yeah.
wanna like give to, or like any like last few words before we end off this episode?
Yeah, any motivational also lah.
Yeah lah, but it's been motivational already.
Very.
lah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
motivated.
Well, I want to shout out the ACE experience, just
Yes.
like the
Nice.
Afro Collect, just the Singapore community, but most importantly, Saini and Hua.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible that they are bringing Afro dance to Singapore, where
Yeah.
I know it must be tough. I
Yes.
know it must be tough,
It is,
but
it is.
seeing the growth though from last year
Yeah.
to this year and how they have networked enough to collaborate with like yourselves, Old Street,
Yes.
Scape,
Yeah.
Yes.
Old
Exactly.
School.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I think it's amazing because I don't think they even realize it, but like they're opening up like opportunities to
Opportunities, yes.
collaborate
Yes.
more, you know,
Yeah.
but also to maybe potentially change people's perspective on
Very
Afro
true.
dance,
Yeah.
but also that you don't have to engage with Afro dance by
Yeah.
going to an Afro dance class.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can be a party, it can be the music, it can be this podcast.
Yes,
Yes,
Alright.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
So, so yeah, I think it's just it's just incredible the work that they're doing. But most importantly, I think it's so amazing that like the people that have collaborated
Yes.
in this event have been so nice and so sweet. Like obviously this is our first official conversation,
Yes.
but
Correct, correct,
across
it
the week,
Yeah.
it's always been. Do you know what I mean? And like it's just been so like yesterday, and I know like this is probably my age, but those little things at my age, like I really remember like yesterday I really wanted to print something for my class and we were struggling, and like the office at Scape like printed it.
Yeah.
London could never.
Oh, really?
London, you need to step up.
What's up?
You need to
London
keep
would
up.
give me
You are addressing London, my God, girl.
London would
Just have to print like
You're
this.
addressing London. Chill.
no, there are some good people in London, but like it was. I think it's just the openness and just and I don't know, like
different.
it's
Yes.
and as an African myself, Nigerian woman, I think it's just to see how far. I don't think it's hard to explain
Yeah.
from our perspective.
Okay.
Seeing people on the other side of the world loving and doing and speaking about African dance and African. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just like you sit back and you're like, wow. Like,
Damn.
Wow,
like,
outside.
Damn. Nice outside.
who would have thought? And I just, it's so beautiful. And I hope it continues, and I can't wait to. I'm back in February, child.
We will see you in February.
We might see you in February.
I'm a temporary resident.
We will see you.
Yeah, but I love the Singapore community. Like, and every time I come back, like, I love it even more because I meet even more people, and I love it. So shout out Hua, shout out Zaini, shout out Old Street, shout out Scape, Old School, everyone who has collaborated to make this beautiful experience happen for the students and for the community. Like, it's incredible.
And we would like to thank you also for taking time to just chat with us.
Yeah.
You know, because we've seen you like for the past couple of days,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh my god, actually,
Very busy
Yeah,
schedule.
such a
very
woman.
busy.
Yeah.
So we finally managed to catch you. So if for our viewers and listeners, right, like how can they like
Reach to you.
reach you?
Yeah.
You know, like
Your socials.
So you can follow me.
Yes.
Make sure you know.
Your YouTube or
You
what?
can follow me mainly on Instagram,
Yeah.
and it is Miss MISS Lulu LULU creates. Yeah, so
Oh,
Miss
nice.
Lulu creates.
Make sure you guys follow her. I don't care. So thank you guys for watching this episode.
Yes, sir.
It was so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, and don't forget to follow us on our socials as well. You can
Yes.
find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify.
Yes,
and
yes.
our handle is
The Old Streets SG.
So we'll see you guys for the next episode. Bye bye.
Yes, rules back. Got the power, the power, power, the power, power, the power, the power, power. I got the power, so louder, shout out from the power. How you know what? I got the power, 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 louder. Yes, rules back.
The All Streets Podcast.